M5. I know it's been a while since I promised you guys I'll be reviewing and doing this car, but I just wanted to make this video special. That's why I took my time with it, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. This E60 M5 is really special to the car culture. I mean, we're talking about a V10 in a super saloon back in 2005. This car was introduced in 2005 by BMW, and it just took the media and the car industry by storm. People were just asking BMW, like, yo, have you lost your mind? I mean, putting a V10 in a four-door super saloon? And BMW's like, yeah, heck yeah, we'll do it. That's what I love about BMW Motorsports and the M division. They're just always pushing the envelope, seeing how far they can go with each car. And with this car, I feel like they've got it right. Now, this car got about 510 horsepower from factory and about 389 foot-pounds of torque. It does 0 to 100 about 4.2 seconds. That's what it claims. But honestly, all those numbers don't matter when you downshift and you hear that V10 sound. Now, this car from factory can hit about 200 miles per hour with the speed limiter removed, obviously. The car is governed at 155 miles an hour. But with the stock gearbox, this car with the stock gearing can hit about 200 miles an hour. And people say they've done about 202, 203. Some people have hit 204. Me personally, I've hit about 201. I'm not going to say where and when, but it has been done in this car in a discreet location. The best thing I like about this car, it just blends in. And when we talk about the definition of wolf in sheepskin, this is the proper definition. Like, I mean, this car can hit 200 miles per hour. It does 0 to 100 in a decent time. And it just blends right in. No one would have thought that this thing has a V10 in it and it's capable of all these things. I mean, feature-wise, this car has heated seats. Some of these cars were equipped with cooled seats, with the perforated leather seats. It's got a backup camera, it's got night vision, it's got parking sensors, and this is all back in 2005. Now, a lot of people complain about maintenance issues with this car and the SMG pumps failing, the connecting rods failing, the Vanos pump failing. But honestly, if you do the preventive maintenance, this car is pretty good. And luckily, I got a clean example. The previous owner, who was a really close friend of mine, had gotten these things done, so I got lucky there. Now, this car is just a drift machine, man. You press this MBM button, which was the first car in the M lineup to have an M mode button. And it's got that F1 style gearbox, like I mentioned. Problematic, but what can you do? If you take care of it, it'll take care of you. But honestly, this car is the most unreliable car I've ever owned. But I must say, this car is the most fun I had in any car. The experience you get in this car, I guarantee you will never get in any other car. It's just a different experience. It is a different experience every time you sit in the car. Literally, like, you don't know what's gonna happen. Honestly, this car might just stop working one day and tell me to go myself. Or some days it's just running so amazing and it's just like, push me harder, drive me faster, beat the crap out of me. That's what I love about this car. Also, not me, I'm not being biased because I own this car, but Mr. Jeremy Clarkson himself said,
doesn't matter what you've got, doesn't matter what you've ever driven, this is quicker, it's faster, it's more astonishing.
And I agree with him. I'm telling you, this is a different experience. I mean, you're talking about a single clutch gearbox, you know, mounted to a V10. It sounds more like a Gallardo or a supercar. I mean, back then in 2005, this car was really not not valued as much as it is today. I mean, honestly, if people knew the value of this car, and the fact that this is the last of its kind, like, there's never going to be a V10 BMW again, especially naturally aspirated, running up to 8,200. All right, guys, now we're in F10 M5. It's 2012. This model was introduced in 2011, and it went up to 2016 was the last year of production for this car, and they also launched the F10 M5 competition package as well. Stock, these cars, BMW claims it's about 550 horsepower and about 500 foot-pounds of torque, but that's all a lie. BMW likes to lie on their numbers. These cars make about anywhere from 470 to 480 wheel horsepower stock, and if you do the calculation, yes, that's well above 550 horsepower to the crank and torque as well. Now this one has a 4.4 V8. This car, honestly, it is the definition of a luxury super saloon. This car that I'm in right now is running an Evolve tune. It's got a upgraded downpipe, Acropovic exhaust, cat back. Well, of course, there's no more cat, so it's just a straight pipe now. And it's got a Group M intake. It's running on 20-inch wheels, so this one has aftermarket Borsteiner wheels. Now, unlike the E60 M5, the V10, which is naturally aspirated, there's not much you can do tuning-wise. This car, I mean, you can do bolt-ons on the E60 M5, and a tune, you can gain anywhere from 50 to 60 horsepower. But in this thing, you do a tune, and you're gaining 50 and 60 horsepower. Then you do the downpipe and the exhaust, and the upgraded intake. You know, you're looking at about anywhere between 100 to 120 horsepower gain from just these mods. But like I said, this car has no drama. It lacks the pure rawness of what M cars used to be, you know, like BMW really had to switch it up a bit with this car and downplay a little bit compared to the E60 M5, but they gave it such a powerful engine. Like, I wouldn't dare press MBM2 on this car and completely turn off traction. This thing's a beast. Like, in a straight line, this thing can probably smoke a lot of supercars out there. A lot of newer supercars. When you're driving it, this car just feels like a regular old 5 Series. Like, it's comfortable. You can literally drive this car, get in this car, take your family, go out grocery shopping, and no one will have a complaint with you. Everyone will be happy. The only downside about this car, honestly, which I feel like, the steering wheel is kind of a bit animated. Obviously, the handling isn't as tight as it used to be, the older M5s. But then again, these cars aren't made to go around the track. I mean, you can take this car around the track, but honestly, this thing is just made to just be a straight line bullet, and this thing is honestly just a monster when you get the open road. It has a lot of technological advancements compared to the E60 M5. I mean, it's got a bigger screen, you got the digital dash, the DCT gearbox, night vision, reverse cameras, 360 cameras in the newer facelift versions, soft closed doors. These are like S-Class, 7 Series, A8 features in a super saloon family sedan with a V8 twin turbo making about 550 horsepower. I'll take that over an E60 any day when it comes for comfort. It honestly sounds like a bunch of gunshots, doesn't it? It's crazy. I honestly want to consider to pick one up, man. Seriously, this thing is just unreal. And the power delivery is just amazing. The Toyo Proxys, honestly, I'll be honest, it's doing a great job. It is the winter time in Mumbai, so the roads aren't that hot, but it sticks pretty good. I'll give them that. It sticks really good, and they're not even warmed up yet. Oh man, the power delivery, man. Even though it's a twin turbo, no lag at all. It's just instant power delivery. It's so good. So the F10 M5, after the E60 M5, also came with the MDM button. In the E60 M5, there was only one button, where in this car, there's two buttons. So you can have two different individual settings. Here in the turbo now. That pop is just mind-blowing. I would hate to be a pedestrian standing around and this thing just drove by and just went pop, pop.
The thing goes grrrr, skitty kid pop, pop, and the poop poop boom.
I'm not even driving on the aggressive setting right now. This thing scares me. See, the thing with the E60 M5, it is savage, it's raw, but it's predictable. But with this thing, because of the twin turbos, the power delivery in it, this car has a mind of its own. Like, this thing can grip, and then suddenly, like, the torque will kick in, and then next thing you know, you're facing the side of the road, and you're trying to go straight. It seriously scares the crap out of me. I've driven one of these. I've spent a lot of time in this car. Not in this particular car, but in F10 M5. But I would never drive this thing with traction off unless I was in an open road. I would honestly, if someone's looking for an M car, who wants to experience an M car, I would say go for the E60 M5. But if you want a reliable M car that you can drive every day, that you don't have to worry about, you know, braking or whatever, I would go for the F10 M5. It's definitely more reliable. Drivability wise, it's definitely more better than this car. This car is pretty stiff, you know what I mean? When you sit in this car, you know you're sitting in the M5. I mean, the suspension is just really stiff compared to a regular 5 Series, where in the new F10, in the newer generation F10 M5, the suspension is pretty soft, and when you're driving, when you're not on MDM mode, when you're driving normal and comfort mode, you don't even feel like you're sitting in an M5. You feel like you're driving a regular 5 Series, minus the sound, obviously. Now that comes to my next point, the sound. The V10 M5, man. This is music to your ears. No car enthusiast will not like the sound. Is this, and the best part about it, it's coming from a sedan. Like, when you close your eyes, you don't expect a sedan. You don't visualize or picture a sedan making these kind of sounds. It's just insane the way this thing sounds and rumbles and growls and screams. Then again, that V8 twin turbo sounds pretty good too. Hope you guys enjoyed that video. Of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And stay tuned to Horsepower Cartel for more content. You know, we got a lot more things lined up. I'm gonna try to do more than one video a week, but with the year beginning, it's been really hard to fit in my schedule. But for now, we'll be sticking to one video a week. Comment down what car you want me to, what you want me to do next. I would love to hear from you guys, and I read every comment too, so don't think I don't. Negatives and the positives. So definitely keep me posted on what you guys want to see from the channel, what you want to see from me, how you want the videos shot. You know, any input is really appreciated. Shout out to my buddy Ozer as well, man, for letting us use his F10 M5. It's a crazy car. It's running a Evolve Stage 2 tune. It's got the downpipes with acaphobic exhaust, tons of carbon fiber everywhere. And let me know what you guys thought about the video. Like, subscribe, and share. And I'll see you guys soon.